what's up, and welcome back to my channel. Now today I'm going to be giving a review for the Trick or Treat Studios Halloween 4 The Return of Michael Myers 6 scale Michael Myers figure. Now of course this is a 6 scale figures based on the Michael Myers from Halloween 4. Now I must admit, I can remember when this movie was originally released back in 1988, I wanted to see it so bad, but my parents wouldn't take me to see it like at the theater, so I had to actually wait till it came on video, But I always thought that the actual box art for this was always actually my favorite poster from like the Halloween film series. I just love that poster. That is just so awesome and like beautiful, Now I wasn't too big of a fan of the film itself. Like the sequel part 4, I thought it was okay, But anyway, I'm kind of excited about picking this one up, and I'm going to get into this right now. So as you can see, this is the box art for the Trick or Treat Studios 6 scale Michael Myers figure. Like I said, I always thought this was a beautiful poster. This is just so awesome. This was always like my favorite poster in the Halloween film series, but it has recently been surpassed. I think I got like a new favorite one. So yeah, this is the box, which has a theatrical poster for Halloween 4. As you see, it says 10 years ago he changed the face of Halloween. Tonight he's back. I always like how you can see Michael Myers at the house right there. The Wallace house, Lindsay house. Even though it wasn't in the film, even Michael Myers had that mask on in this film here. And here's the box, like the back of the box, which has an image of Michael Myers from the film that George Wilbur plays. Of course, it has a Halloween 4 right down the side too as well. Then of course you can even open it. And there's the inside. It has the image of the Michael Myers from Halloween 4 right there. And of course you can see the figure on the side with the accessories that he has. Now this also has a scripture too, so I'm going to go and read it. It says, 10 years ago on the night of October 31st, a small Midwestern town fell victim to an escaped killer. Under the cover of darkness, he carried out the most horrifying mass murder on record. 16 people in cold blood. Ever since that night, no one has forgotten his name, and Halloween has never been the same. Of course, that's from the trailer for Halloween 4, like the guy that's doing like the voiceover for it. So I'm going to open this on up. And this is the background. It comes with the Halloween 4, which is an image of Michael Myers when he just got his coveralls, like that mechanic. And Dr. Loomis showed up. And as you can see, this is the actual container, so I'm going to take this on off. Here's the figure. And as usual, it has that plastic on which I have to take off. Okay, here's the head one. So yeah, there he is. So as you can see, this is the Trick or Treat Studios Halloween 4 Michael Myers figure. Of course, this Michael Myers is played by George Wilbur, P. Wilbur. So I'm going to measure him. And he's just over 12 inches. Like if you count his hair. So what I do now is talk about the likeness and articulation of the figure. Now I must admit, I was never too big on this particular look of Michael Myers, like his mask and so on. I was never like a fan of, even like his look. Like the body proportions of George Wilbur, because I know they said he had on like football pads or something like that. I'm not too sure, but it is nice noticing that apparently this was how these coveralls actually looked. It. I didn't know there was actually like a light blue. I raised this card up too right there. I didn't know there was actually light blue like this. But from my opinion, I thought George was actually like more like kind of like have like a heavier type, stockier type build than this. So I think his body could have been like a little more like larger than this actually looks. Because I know he looked kind of more heavier, like more starkier looking. But it is nice noticing that these were his actual color, And again, these coveralls feel just as good as like the other Michael Myers figure. He even has like a working zipper right there. The pockets, he has like this one pocket where, Even like on the side, he has like these working pockets. You actually can put stuff in Michael's pockets. Even on the back, he has like pockets too. I do notice that this Michael also seems like it has like a more solid type stand to it. The legs are still kind of loose, but it does like he feels like more heavier. You can see his boots too. They did a pretty good job on that. Now that I still be is kind of there too, like kind of off, like they're just too long. But you do see shoes like this, like he are wearing shoes that are actually too large for his feet. But I like how they sculpted these. I think they did a good job on the boots. Now, of course, the mask I think is superb. This really does look like the Halloween 4 mask, which, like I said, I wasn't too like a big fan of, but it does really look like how I looked at it in the film. And even Michael Myers' eyes are darkened out too. I always thought that was kind of cool. You don't see his eyes. That's the way I prefer like my Michael Myers to look. You know, and Michael's head can be tilted to the side, left, right, up. You know, kind of down, but not too much. I like how you also can see this on the back too, like where you can put the mask on. You know how like a mask looks when you put it on, it has a slit in it. And you also can see Michael's neck too in here. I think that's kind of cool. You also can zip this down too, which I never really bothered. Another thing I made this really happy that they did, Trick or Treat Studios, they really did pay attention to the detail by giving us like a burned hand from Michael. Because you know he was actually, this is supposed to be after part 2, you know. 10 years later, so you can see like the burned hand of Michael Myers from when he was at Haddonfield Memorial Hospital when he got burned up by Dr. Loomis. So I think it's kind of cool they kept that, you know, that you can see his hands burned all up and stuff. I think that's awesome. So you definitely can tell that this is based on part 4. So I do think that's cool. Now his arms can go up to about, I like this one is kind of tight on the left. I don't want to force it. They can kind of go up to there, but I'm sure you can raise them higher than that if you want. And of course he does have a bend like in the arm. And actually both arms, so you can't bend them like that to split. Leg can go up. Like I said, it's still snap. They are loose, like in these leg areas. He has a bend too as well. But I do notice that like the legs are still kind of loose, but it looks like he might have some weight to him. But I think they sculpted this. This is a pretty solid figure. You know, it's nice having a Halloween 4 Michael Myers figure. You know, I was like too big of a fan of the film. I think it's like okay, it's still awesome finally getting the figure for the first time based on Halloween 4, and it's nice and interesting seeing that his coveralls were actually this light blue, because I thought it was actually like dark. You know, when you're watching the film, it's like they're actually like a dark black color. I also have a stand for my Michael Myers figure too as well, so I'm going to put him on this. I use these like U-style stands. So I'm just sit him on it. So there he is. Now, I want to talk about the accessories that come with the Halloween 4 Michael Myers figure from Trick or Treat Studios. Now, he doesn't have much. He only has 2. First up is like his hand right here, and this is the hand that's actually holding like his knife that he comes with. I like how you can still see that it's like burned. I think that's cool that they pay that much attention to detail. That's how we definitely know this is part 4, because he's burned up. It's that the burn on his hand. So I think that's kind of cool. That's a right hand too. Then he has like his standard butcher, or you can say kitchen knife. And you know, be careful with these, because I know these can break, you know. I actually took the hand off Michael Myers and gave him like the hand for holding like the knife. So there it is right there. I must admit it was very tight. I actually had to use a hairdryer to actually get that in his hand. It was so tight. So I'd be cautious of putting a knife in his hand. Like I say, it was very tight. I actually had to use like a blow hairdryer to loosen it. And I believe so far out of the Michael Myers figures that I have, I think this is the tightest hand I've seen. It's like a real tight fit on it. Now what I want to do is actually compare the Halloween 4 Michael Myers from Trick or Treat Studios with the other Trick or Treat Studios Michael Myers figures that I have. Now this here is the 1978 Michael Myers figure. And like I said, I believe this is the best Michael Myers figure you can get based on the original film. That isn't like custom, because I know the custom ones are very good too as well. Yeah, this is a superb figure. I would definitely recommend this one. You know, if you're a fan of the original. But I'm just giving like a comparison between the two. It does like George might have a little height over the 781, if I'm not mistaken, or they're about the same. Looks like he's just a little slightly taller than this one. Then up next, the Halloween 2018 Michael Myers, played by James Drew Cordy. And this is another figure that's done very well. I think these actually are the 2 better figures in my opinion, but if you're like a fan of Part 4, You know, you probably would prefer this. I know to some fans, Halloween 4 is actually like their favorite film, you know. But I think these are some awesome Michael Myers figures. I think it's awesome and cool that we are getting like 6 scale Michael Myers figures. I think they're just superb, you know. So I hope we get to actually see more of these, you know. I would love to see one based on like Part 2. Like I said, I would love to even see like a quarter scale version of the 7-8 one. That would be so awesome. The Trick or Treat Studios, like a quarter scale version. But I think these are awesome Michael Myers figures though. Okay, there's the Trick or Treat Studios Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers 6 scale figure. Now, of course, this is based on Michael Myers from Halloween 4. And like I said, I can remember when this film was originally released back in 1988. I wanted to see it so bad back in the theaters. But my parents wouldn't take me to see it at the time, so I had to actually wait to come on video to see it, you know. But I actually always thought that poster right for Halloween 4 was just awesome. That has always been, like, nowadays, but it used to be my favorite poster, like in the film series. I always thought that was just like a beautiful Halloween 4 poster, even though it doesn't give the accurate description of how Michael Myers looks in this film, you know, even though it has like the Wallace house right there on there. But I still always thought this was like an awesome poster for it. But like I say, the actual figure itself is pretty good. I like how Trick or Treat Studios pay attention to like, the detail of Michael Myers being like burned up, because you know this is 10 years after the Halloween 2, where you can say like the original 78 film, because Halloween 2 from 81 did take place on the same night. You know, this is after Michael Myers was burned up at the Haddonfield Memorial Hospital by Dr. Loomis. So I think it's cool that they stayed true to that, giving us like burned hands for Michael Myers. Now I feel like his body proportions, I feel that could have been different. I feel that like the George Wilbur Michael Myers is more like stockier, like heavier type build, you know. I thought he had like a more like heavier, like stockier type build than the one we actually get from this figure. So I kind of beat it. That was kind of off. I think his body's like too lean for how he looked at the own part before I actually really looked at. But it's nice seeing that his coveralls were actually this color too. They were actually like a light blue apparently, you know. So from what I'm hearing, that is screen accurate. He is light on accessories, and the knife, like his hand that he has for this knife, I thought it was like too tight. I actually had to loosen it to put the knife in it, but I would just recommend being careful when you're putting the knife in his hand, because it is very tight. Like his hand, you better loosen it like for a blow dryer or a hair dryer, you know. That's what I use. But I would definitely recommend picking this up, because I know a lot of people are fans of Halloween 4. So if you're a fan of Halloween 4, that particular version of Michael Myers, I would definitely recommend picking this on up. And it is awesome getting a Halloween 4 Michael Myers figure. I think it's cool that we are actually finally getting that for the first time, like a Michael Myers based on Part 4. I do admit that is awesome, you know. But anyway, I would definitely recommend picking this up. So this is the Trick or Treat Studios Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers 6 scale Michael Myers figure. I would definitely recommend picking this up. Please leave a comment and subscribe too as well. Michael!